TPE Network. Fun yet informative podcasts.
Hello and welcome to the Mandalorian Fan Podcast, episode 28. This time we'll be discussing The Bad Batch, episode 6 of season 1, titled Decommissioned. I'm Hank.
And I'm Alex.
And we're your host, covering all the cool Star Wars series that are going to be coming to us via Disney+. So can't wait for future stuff, but The Bad Batch is scratching that itch pretty well right now. Let's get right into it. We did receive some feedback on Sid. Sid is a Trandoshan.
Okay.
Alien. Okay, so we got that during the week, so thank you for sending that in. And then we start out the episode with Omega learning to shoot, and she's getting frustrated, and she's doing worse the more she gets heckled. And I'm kind of like that. I remember being very standoffish about people watching me do stuff and stuff like that. I didn't care for it that much. And so I kind of understood how she felt when she was sitting there going, you know, all that noise out there ain't helping.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a training thing. They want her to have the distractions so she can think beyond the distractions and be a little bit more accurate.
Most certainly, because that was some scary shooting.
Yeah.
Sid has another job for our crew. And Sid quickly gives Omega some quick pointers on that energy bow. That was awesome when Sid just takes that bow and just like, wham, 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 letting them fly. I love that bow.
Yeah, it's okay. I know my dad would love the bow. He's an avid bow hunter, so.
Would you rather have this or would you rather have Chewbacca's bowcaster?
Yeah, I'd rather have Chewbacca's bowcaster.
Okay, I'd rather have my.
I think it'd be a little bit too heavy though.
I'd rather have my podcasting roadcaster. Yeah, I get it. My mixer. Yeah. They have to recover a tactical droid before it's decommissioned. Hence the title of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll just have to get past police droids. And when they're entering this facility, I'm like, what could possibly go wrong with these guys? I mean, they've never had any screw ups on this show. Like every episode. Oh, so it's pretty fun. I really liked how they played Wrecker not liking heights. I like how he was approaching that the infiltration ladder, and he's like, not my favorite thing to do. And then later on, he has another situation like that. So I like how they stay consistent with characters.
Yeah. And I think it was during this part as well where we kind of had a couple homages to Empire Strikes Back in the form of sound bites and into something that happened. So we had their ship was attached to another ship in order to get to Corellia. And again, that's an homage to, the Millennium Falcon doing that to the Star Destroyer. And then we had a couple sound bites. Now, when we're in the facility itself, if you listen closely, you can hear what sounds like sounds you would hear in the carbonite chamber, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the droids that are there when they talk, very similar to the protocol droid that when C-3PO is wandering around Cloud City, he comes across another protocol droid, and he mentions, "Oh, it's good to see a familiar face." And then that droid tells him to eat chuta, and then he goes, "How rude." And so that voice from the Eat Chuta, you could hear that. It very well could have been the same person, but that's the voice that you kind of heard throughout with the droid. So again, a good homage to Empire Strikes Back, which is now celebrating its 41st anniversary. But since the pandemic happened, a lot of the product that was for the 40th Well, I shouldn't say a lot of the product. Some of the product hadn't come out yet, and I did receive a 40th anniversary hardcover magazine celebrating it just a few days ago. So we're
cool.
starting to have some more things come out.
Nice. Good stuff. Good insight. As Omega locates the droid, Rafa and Trace from Clone Wars Season 7, they steal the droid's head, and then Omega, and which one was she paired off with? Was that Rafa she was paired off with?
I don't know.
Because I can't. What I hate the way they draw them is when you can't see their hair.
They're very similar. Yeah, they're very
Yes.
similar. Yeah.
I go by their hair because the voice
Which is how
kinda,
you can tell they're sisters.
Right. You love it. And not just lazy artists. But
Yeah.
but when I can see their hair, I can distinctly tell them apart. So I was like, I think because Rafa tends to be pretty rude, that it's probably her that Omega was dealing with. That standoff scared me because those little bitty arms that Sid told her she's going to have to work on were not pretty steady with that energy bow. And I was like, oh my gosh, are we going to see like a fatality right here?
Right.
But it was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool that they included them from, another series.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it.
And I think there's been, throughout this whole season, there's been homages to previous animated Star Wars series, like mostly Clone Wars. Occasionally we'd have a Rebels thing. I don't think we've had anything from Resistance yet, but
no, I don't think so.
But yeah, and my wife stopped watching Bad Batch because she's utterly lost, and I'm like, well, I guess you do have to have that previous knowledge, a little bit of it, of what happened in Clone Wars. And, thanks to Disney Plus, you can leisure that at your own time.
Correct. Yes. I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Omega's erratic little shot is what causes all the chaos that transpires afterwards, because now the facility is going into lockdown, and you're like, oh no, this kid's gonna be endless.
I call that the John Ritter effect. I don't know if you've watched any of John Ritter from especially Three's Company, and he was a classic when it came to the slapstick humor, and something that, some little thing he did caused something bigger on down the line, that, what, if he would have just left one enough alone, that wouldn't have happened.
So the Bad Batch has to duke it out with, they're the Martez sisters, I believe. They have to duke it out with them, plus the police droids for a little while until those two factions decide to work together. But what comes next is when Wrecker smashes his head really hard after making that impossible jump and defying his fear of heights once again. I was like, what did he say? Good soldiers follow orders comes through. It almost comes through like Crosshair's voice to me.
Yeah. Crosshair's voice, that's like anything that D. Bradley, he's the voice of the clone trooper. So I guess we could say he's D. Bradley's voice. But anyway, right, even prior to that, he was kind of holding his head like that. His inhibitor chip was kind of acting up, and then he jumped across, and again he was holding his head, and it's like, and then he said that, as, oh crap, is this the episode where the inhibitor chip finally works? But
do you think they're kind of going too long with this tease that this chip is eventually going to malfunction?
This is just a classic writer thing. It's gonna, believe me, I think it's gonna pay. At least I hope it's gonna pay off.
Please pay off. So, meanwhile, Omega, he gets shot too. I thought that was another kind of interesting point of the episode where, okay, these guys take some punishment. So it's kind of good to see that on, especially on an animated series, so there's stakes. But meanwhile, Omega and Rafa, they play hot potato with the tactical droid's head. And Omega's leg gets stuck under some rubble on a conveyor belt. This reminded me of when Anakin got stuck on,
Attack of the Clones.
Yep. And he was like, oh, no, he's in trouble, So I was like, it's kind of similar. Same kind of beat almost, but fun. So that was crazy. But the part that was really weird to me is when Omega falls into that stuff, wouldn't that just be the hottest metal you've ever come in contact with? Because it's not quite in yet, but it should be hot as all heck.
Yeah, it very well could be. I'm not a metallurgist or anything, but there would be some type of prep involved. At least you would imagine there's some type of prep involved, and since that's a hot area to begin with, you'd probably get roasted by those temperatures alone.
That's what I was thinking. They did not do a good job of conveying that, especially when she grabs that piece of metal to extend up so she can be pulled up. I was like, I don't buy this. I'm sorry, Omega. Unless we find out in future episodes that Omega is fireproof, then I don't believe this. I loved how quickly Hunter jumped into action when Omega is in trouble. I really like that.
Yeah, he went like all Rambo with it. Sorry.
Totally unrelated character, right? Yeah.
But that's what he looks like.
He does.
With his helmet off.
He certainly does. So these two factions, this is when they team up because they gotta do something. There's so many of those police forces. And then when one of them says, we need a diversion, and the other one just like repeats it as if it's her own plan. Like, yeah, we need a diversion. Is there an Echo in here? And then Echo's like, I'm Echo. And he's like, he salutes. That was so funny to me. I love that.
A little play on words there.
Yeah.
Who's on first?
Who is on first? But the way they just linked it all together was just priceless because he's like, I'm here, hey, what do you need? Reporting for duty. But they activate some battle droids, which I thought was a really smart plan instead of just trying to shoot their way out of there themselves. And those battle droids are able to, help put a dent in the facility police. Now,
right.
Omega,
So this droid's head has all the information on how you can turn them on and stuff. And of course, Echo had a bunch of like attachments to get it going and to download the information from it.
Yes. So Omega gets her bow back and she's able to tune out distractions as they're making their escape. And she makes a good shot towards that escape end of the episode. And then anybody else freak out when R7 picks them up? Did you like that?
So yeah, that was awesome. Now there was some speculation is we thought we saw R7 get destroyed in the last season of the final season of Clone Wars, but evidently there might be some explanation or another backstory as to R7 being alive and well.
Right before he was going to get destroyed, some people think they heard him say, "I'll be back." That could just be crossing streams. I don't know. So the only weird thing about him is like in one scene he looked a certain color scheme, and then in the next scene he looked like he was the color scheme of their outfits. I was like, either Sabine Wren is somewhere hiding on that ship, spray painting him as we go, or this is a continuity error. Or, you know what I mean? Like a...
Yeah, no, it's a continuity error. That's exactly what it is.
So I was just like yikes.
Oops.
So I'm going to have to rewatch that one again because I was like kind of confused. Tech had copied the tactical droid's data, because the head gets all shot up and stuff. But he had one. Let me insert this here because this is one of my problems with the episode. I don't know. Why not make another duplicate? You're telling me you only have one drive to copy? Come on.
I would imagine he made a couple copies.
Because they make it seem like it's either theirs or theirs. Like it's either the Bad Batch is gonna keep it or the Martez sisters are gonna take it. And it's like that's a forced dichotomy that you don't have to make.
Yeah.
Because you both can copy the freaking information.
Yeah. And you think that's they did that, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. This is when Trace fills us in on their cause. They're helping I would assume this is the formation or the beginnings of the rebellion, that they're helping. Did you get that sense or no?
Oh, definitely, but it might be a smoke screen. Because they're talking to somebody at the end and it isn't revealed yet. So, which I was excited that they didn't reveal it because that means we're going to get the Martez sisters again in a future episode.
True. I like that.
And we'll talk, unless you want to talk about, I could talk about it now as to.
We'll talk about it right at the end.
Oh, okay.
We're almost there. When Hunter hands her that over, that they are different. And she's like, well, maybe you guys are different. She's kind of surprised, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter had given her the data because he says that it should be used for the right reasons. And I was like, whoa, this is getting deep over here as far as just the ethical portion of what these clones are thinking and such. So I thought that was really well done. And she tells him her parting words to him because he was like, it was just easier when I was a soldier. And she's like, in the end, we all choose sides. And I was like, oh, man, are they foreshadowing like Crosshair and Wrecker and, so all that tension that's going to be going. This is the very end when Trace talks to someone who is off screen, telling them about the clones. But who? And I have my guesses, but do you want to do your guesses?
Well, some of the there's like three people that are kind of speculated, and the one obvious one is Bail Organa.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
It could be Bail Organa. And there's another speculation where it could be Darth Maul.
Ooh.
And it's like, he's a part of that the head of that criminal syndicate.
Yeah.
And then there's some indication it could be Andor from Rogue One.
Really?
So, but I would say it, to me, it makes more sense to be Maul because I think Organa is the most, Bail is the most obvious choice. And so they could easily, do a smoke screen because as we know, Maul would probably want to get some kind of revenge on Sidious and or Palpatine,
right,
and Vader. So
most certainly. After all that nonsense, most certainly.
Right.
Could Saul Guerrero be in the mix too?
Oh, it could very well be Saul Guerrero. That could be so right now it's like not an endless list of possibilities, but we do have, quite a large list of who it could possibly be.
I heard people speculating it could be Rex as well. I was like, really? I don't think Rex would.
No, I don't think it'd be Rex.
It'd be Rex. And I don't think Obi-Wan wouldn't even be in this area right at this time, would he?
No, he'd be on Tatooine.
Yeah. Looking over Luke. Anything else before we get to our ratings?
No, but this is really another good episode. I think if, we'll talk about it when we do our ratings.
Okay. Well, I think I am going to just give this one a proficient 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. It was a good episode. We had received some pushback on our rating system. And one thing I want people to understand is like each episode not only is a standalone episode, but also pushes the overall narrative of the story forward. I believe every episode has done that so far. They always give you the encapsulated episode, and then they push their narrative of the overarching story at the same time. And I think that is really, really good. And to me, some of the best of these animated series that I've seen, in my personal opinion, because they're doing more with seemingly less, because not everybody's invested in the Bad Batch, but they've figured out a way to get us to invest in them characters and have this whole big universe kind of feel like it is tied together like it should. And I like it. So 8 out of 10 for me. What you giving it?
Yeah, likewise, it's definitely was an 8 out of 10. Like I said, I love those homages to The Empire Strikes Back. And we have that little snippet in there where we know something's going to happen on down the line, might be even next episode of Wrecker with his inhibitor. And then we just, something was just added this episode with the Martinez sisters and or the Martez sisters, sorry. The Martez sisters, in which, there's like some unknown person that they answer to, and who could it be? And so, there's a list of who it could be, and that, again, that's something that's going to get revealed. So I'm kind of wondering if all these revelations are going to be during this season, because this was episode 6. So how many, we got 4 more episodes to go?
It's going to be 16 total.
Oh, 6. Okay. We got 10 episodes to go. So we got plenty of time.
Lots of time to tell a good story.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And
it's kind of interesting too, because how much detail they're putting into a simple half-hour episode.
Yes. And I that's why I really think they deserve good high ratings, because they're doing more. I mean, a lot of the other animated series were fun and stuff, but they weren't really telling a story that was going to continue to go forward, in my opinion, not all the time. And each episode so far is just like, oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
And there was, a couple standalone episodes that, if you just, that you could have easily got rid of, but it was still a good episode nonetheless. I guess we would call those filler episodes, but they're good filler episodes.
Right.
Because normally we'll rag on filler episodes.
Yes, we do. Yep. Those diversion episodes where, we got to go way over here to do one thing. And you're like, this is a diversion. Anything else, Alex? Are you ready to wrap this up?
Nope. Nothing else. No, it's, I'm looking forward to, again, what's going to happen next week. Do you have any insight or anything of what the next episode is called?
They have been keeping a lot of that stuff under wraps, because when I go to my normal places, it seems like it's only days prior to the episode showing that I can get that information. I haven't checked on after this episode, but other previous episodes I had been, and I was like, man, this kind of is frustrating, because I want to get some insight on what is coming. But
so they're really keeping things, hush hush.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job. So I am excited about that. It makes the anticipation a little better, not knowing exactly where we're heading like we used to on a series. Where we're like, we know where this is going. But always a lot of fun. I appreciate you carving out the time, Alex.
Hey, this is fun. Anything talking about Star Wars, I'm all in.
So we record every Saturday, and try to get these done and out as quick as we can, because we know a lot of people are impatient and they want to hear what we have to say on it. And so we appreciate you tuning in to the Mandalorian Fan Podcast. For Alex, I'm Hank. Until the next time, we're signing off.
See ya.
TPE Network. There ain't nothing else like it.